happy day. I'm Devon O'Day. It's time for Devon's Table. And my partner in lettuce today.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Gagnier.
We're here at Green Door Gourmet, where it literally is very green today.
Yes, happy day at Green Door Gourmet. So we're talking about lettuce and things that go along with lettuce. And it's the beginning of the year. People are really thinking about their health. And what a better way than going back to the greens.
There's really, especially if you have blood sugar issues, we've talked a lot about, this is also Heart Month, diabetes connects with that. And if you've got a blood sugar issue, leafy greens are always part of the diet. They always say good leafy greens always are great for you.
We know that in the wintertime we have a tendency to eat heavier foods, the stews, the things that are rich. And when we get into January, we're kind of like, oh, maybe it's not that far until bathing suit season. So we better maybe think about some other things. So our leafy greens help us do that while we're upping our vitamin K, our vitamin C, also protein and iron.
Wow, protein?
Protein and iron. Iron in spinach is one of the highest sources of iron other than red meat.
Wow, that's unbelievable. And you've got so many interesting things here. I don't even know what all these are, but that's why we're here. And to teach you, it's not just one thing to put in a salad. We're used to iceberg lettuce, and that represented salad for me all growing up.
I got that in here, Devon. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
We'll talk about
We've got some
iceberg.
I can't get it.
that out of here.
That's a big old head of lettuce.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So iceberg really gets a bad rap.
It does.
The thing about lettuce, any lettuce, it is part of your water content for the day. So if you're like me and you are not a good hydrator, I get busy, I don't think about it until I'm already way too thirsty. One of the best things you can do is have a salad because iceberg lettuce is almost all water.
Wow.
So think about it in that regard. If nothing else, you get a great crunch. It's a fantastic vehicle for a wedge salad.
Oh.
And you also are hydrating when you have iceberg. So it is not the bad guy. It's just not perhaps your favorite cousin when you're thinking more health benefits.
And a nod to our production coordinator, Mona Bagsby. She replaced bread with sheets of this to make her sandwiches with.
Yes, and you can also take ground chicken or turkey, put your sweet chili sauce or something like that in there and make chicken wraps.
Oh,
and you can use cabbage leaves, you can use iceberg leaves, or we could use your favorite, the butter
lettuce.
bib.
Yes.
Isn't that just pretty?
That is beautiful. It's so good with balsamic vinegar.
Yes.
Oh.
And, the butter lettuce has a little bit more flavor, a little bit more structure, a few more vitamins. The darker the green, the more the vitamins. So,
nice.
And all lettuce is not green. There is the red lettuce.
Oh, that's always so pretty in a salad.
So you've got this red oak leaf lettuce that if when you're ready to use it, you would just literally take the head off.
And it's ready.
If it hasn't been washed, you're going to put this in a little bit of water in the salad spinner. Dunk it up and down a couple of times. Dump that water, spin it, and it's good to go. It lasts for forever after you spin it in some cold water.
Okay, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Nestled in Nashville along the Cumberland River, Green Door Gourmet is a 350-acre organic farm, agritourism operation, and on-farm store. Green Door Gourmet grows a wide variety of fruits, flowers, vegetables, and herbs using holistic organic methods, providing our customers, including local restaurants and florists, with the absolute best direct from the field produce. Enjoy seasonal cut farm flower bouquets all summer long with our Green Door Gourmet Flower CSA. Farm field trips are offered March through October, as well as seasonal cooking classes and on-farm events such as our annual Fall Fest. Our on-farm store features Green Door Gourmet produce as well as products from our farm partners, the area's best local producers, including grass-fed meats, honey, jam, dairy, baked goods, and much more. Our local Farm Box program allows customers to take home a box with a variety of produce options based on what is growing at Green Door Gourmet. Join us in the spring for the You Pick Strawberry season. Our Countrypolitan White Oak Community Center is the perfect setting for weddings, meetings, farm-to-table and corporate events, and social occasions. Come visit Green Door Gourmet, just minutes from downtown Nashville.
We're going to keep talking about salad throughout the show today because there's a lot of green and a lot of good at Green Door Gourmet. See how I did that?
Slick, I tell you, slick.
Well, we've talked about butter lettuce and the wonderful red oak leaf, and we talked about a salad spinner. If you don't have a salad spinner, you need one because they are the most amazing things. A couple of quick spins and the salad crisps right up.
And you can even cheat and leave your lettuce in that salad spinner, not dirty up another bowl. Put that salad spinner in your fridge. Just pull it out until the lettuce is all gone. So it works really well.
How amazing is that? Well, let's talk about some of these others. Now, I don't even know what this is.
So this, not all lettuce for salads is truly lettuce. This is actually kale. Dinosaur kale, nicknamed that because it kind of looks like a dinosaur skin. Right?
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's called Tuscan kale. But with kale, you're going to take this, you're going to take the larger stem out and use this, chop it up, and you've got a wonderful, heartier green. So the greens we've talked about so far are a very leafy, easy to use green, but sometimes you need a heartier green like a cabbage or romaine.
Gotcha.
Or a kale to stand up to the kind of dressing you're going to use.
And you take the spine of it out?
Yes, let's just do this.
Yeah.
So you just take it and you take it right out like that.
Did you guys see that? Okay, because if you've ever had kale and you don't know kale, I could chew for 3 days and that kale is still there. It's because I didn't take the spine out.
You want to take the spine out? And then you're going to take it and you can just kind of roll it up like that. Chop it.
Oh.
Take a little olive oil or a little lemon juice or both. Because if you have olive oil and lemon juice, a little salt, you got dressing.
Yes.
Massage it in. Kale needs a little
yeah, you got to love on the kale.
Love on the kale. So that's how you can use kale in that salad. Then another favorite that I love that people forget about, you have your choy. Your pak choy, your baby choy leaves, they go great in salads. They give you a lot of vitamin C. So you can use choy. So this was just harvested fresh this morning from the farm. You can see that it has not a hard stem. You can break it pretty easily.
Yeah.
So this stem can go in. You wouldn't have to take it out like the
Okay, so you can still eat that. Yeah.
And then we have this beautiful spinach. Look at beautiful this spinach is.
Look how pretty that is.
And there are different kinds of spinach. This is an arrowhead style spinach. A little bit more heirloom style spinach. Most of the time in the store you see it's all rounded edge.
Yeah.
So if you happen to see it look like this, don't be afraid. It's still spinach. It's just
You're not eating poison ivy.
No, you're not. We wouldn't do that to you. And then this also was harvested this morning.
Oh, this is beautiful.
This is a mescaline mix of greens. And so what you could do is if you had all different kinds of things, you could take even a little bit of this red oak, mix it in with spinach, a little of this, maybe a few of the choy leaves. I love arugula, this peppery little bit, so you could put arugula in.
It's a spicy. It's a kind of an acquired taste, but it goes great with a lemon-based dressing.
Or if you have a sweeter dressing because it gives it a little punch.
Gotcha.
Which is really nice.
What about this?
These are herbs, and people sometimes forget about the herbs they have in their refrigerator. So I have cilantro and parsley out.
They smell good.
So when you make your lettuce blend, at the end, you're like, I've got 3 sprigs of parsley. What am I going to do with it? Chop it up, throw it in your salad. It gives a nice, herbaceous, vibrant something to your salad that you didn't think about. And then last but not least, I want to just tell you about one other hero here on the farm, and that's beets.
I love beets.
Bye-bye, beet.
Boing.
Beat it. So here we go. We've got beet greens. Now, if you look closely, you probably have seen these
Yes, yes.
in a salad mix before. So baby beet greens are delicious in your salad.
Wow, baby beet greens. Who knew?
And the other reason you want to take these greens off, you can saute them like spinach. Again, like the kale, take the big stem out.
Yeah.
But you can saute them like spinach with a little bit of garlic. And beets and other root vegetables are kind of like a cell phone and a battery.
Gotcha.
So this is the cell phone. It wants to send its signal out. I need to grow. I need to get out there into the world. This is the battery. Okay? If you leave the battery on all the time, it drains down, correct?
Gotcha.
If you leave this attached to this is going to become squishy and shrivelly and terrible.
Who knew? I didn't know that.
So when you get this home, go ahead and process your greens. Put these in a little baggie in the refrigerator, separate than your leafy greens. This will
Gotcha.
last. This will last. Everybody will be happy.
Yum. And these, you can roast the beets. That is a delicious way to do them. Roasted beets are incredible. But my favorite for a salad is a good old pickle beet.
I got pickle beets here. I also have a gold beet here. And I wanted to just tell you a little something about, in the world of beets, size matters. When
Why?
you get larger beets like this, it's going to take forever to cook this beet. And it's not going to be your favorite beet because it's probably going to have a little bit more stringiness to it.
Gotcha.
And so when I'm looking for beets, I always like to get the smaller ones versus the larger ones. If all they've got is this larger one, I'm going to figure out how to cook it. I'm not going to waste it. But when I have a choice, greens on, baby beets.
I love it. Hey, you guys, we're going to join you at the end of the show to kind of put a wrap on greens. Stay with us.
I'm a farmer and I vote because every vote counts.
I'm a farmer and I vote because it's my privilege and right as an American, and I use my vote to support agriculture.
I'm a farmer and I vote because I like to voice my opinion.
I farm, I vote because I want agriculture's voice to be heard.
I'm a farmer and I vote to exert influence beyond my own farm.
We are at the mailroom this afternoon. It is a hot spot in Clarksville since it opened last July. I have one of the owners with me, Wes Cunningham. This is a partnership with the Cunningham family. Mailroom, a part of Strawberry Alley. You may know that location, or Old Glory. Wes, thank you. I know you're busy and on the go all the time, so I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time.
We're excited to have you here, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about, first off, the mailroom and the concept. Where did that idea come from? And how fun was it to develop it?
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. The whole idea started mainly because we love being in downtown Clarksville. We've been down at Strawberry Alley Ale Works for almost 5 years now. So our 5th birthday is coming up down there in a couple months. So we just really love being in Clarksville and being able to grow the downtown community. So when this building became available a few years ago, my dad, the late Tom Cunningham, he knew that he wanted to do something with this. It's such a unique and cool building, been here since 1935, built as the original, or built as the new post office when it moved from the current Customs House Museum. So a lot of cool history, and we wanted to be able to preserve that and bring it back to life so that everybody here in Clarksville can come back in the doors and just have a unique experience and just really make downtown a better place. So that's where the idea came from, and we got to work on it in late 2022. So spent about 8 or 9 months in construction, and we've been fully operational here since July. So it's been wonderful so far.
So you really kept a lot of the original, because you look at this, I mean, is there a lot of original aspects still here from, I guess, that post office?
So the bones and the structure, this thing is concrete and steel, built in the 30s. So as far as the original post office, most of that had been removed in the 60s when they renovated it the first time around. But there's a couple components that we're really proud of. One is when you walk in the front doors, there's some Tennessee pink marble floors.
Oh, wow.
That's the same stone that is used on the exterior of the building.
Okay.
So really high quality materials that we wanted to preserve as much as we could. So the entrance is that Tennessee pink marble cut out of a quarry from East Tennessee. These large windows that you see in here, letting in all this natural light. You can see all these different views of downtown Clarksville. And then one fun part, it's not really noticeable from the post office days to now, but on the back deck, that's where the postal trucks would pull in and unload all the mail.
You know, this concept seems to be different from Strawberry Alley. How intentional was that from the get-go?
Well, we knew we had to do something that was different from Strawberry Alley.
Right.
People, maybe the first impression is, oh, it's the same owners, it's got to be the same thing. Well, it's much different. What is the same is our commitment to the made from scratch aspect of the menu, the fresh ingredients. We try to stay away from anything that's frozen. So we love that made from scratch aspect, but what we are making from scratch is totally different. So Strawberry Alley is a American brew pub. We're making our own beer, and you have some great dishes to complement that down there, where we wanted this to be maybe a half step up in the creativity and eclecticness of the menu, if that's a word. So we knew we had to preserve the American aspect, but we didn't want to have just comfort foods.
Right.
So alongside a really good pork chop and mashed potatoes, we've got a wonderful Korean beef burger, some South American inspired dishes, and some fun cocktails. So when you're in here, you're right here looking at the bar, seeing your drinks being made. You can look into the kitchen and see the wood-fired grill in action. So we wanted the modern component. There's some historical features too. You can see the lights hanging along the front of the wall there. Those are replicas of the column lights on the front of the building. So Clarksville Foundry took one of them, and we were able to recast those lights that are matches of the original brass fixtures from the 30s. So to encapsulate that, we want it to be, modern and fun, but have a few touches from the historical period of the building as well. We're super fortunate for how it's all turned out, and thankful for everybody around us.
He has treated me to the bone-in pork chop and the chicken chimichurri salad. Both look amazing, and then a mocktail as well, which is the Fresca drink. So you're seeing a little bit of the video of the pork chop being cooked and the bread being sliced. And then here's a look at the drink being created. So was able to get back there a little bit, but your guys in the kitchen, they're busy all the time and always prepping for the night crowd, which is pretty huge.
That's right. Yeah, our menu is very prep intensive. We're, it'd be a lot easier for us to take something from a bag and just heat it up and cook it, but every step along the way, we're having to make it from scratch. So
makes a difference.
it makes a big difference. Makes a lot more work for those guys, but I think for them, they enjoy it because they want to be a part of the craft of cooking. They take a lot of pride in making these items from scratch, and you're actually working with a culinary team, not just in the kitchen as a cook.
Well, it is a beautiful art. So I'm going to try the bone-in pork chops, but I'm trying the mashed potatoes first. What is on the plate? Is that butter on the bottom?
Yeah, so we sauteed the spinach and marinated tomatoes that are one of the sides there that's sauteed in some butter. So that it brings it all together with the homemade mashed potatoes and the pork chops, so it's really a rich, hearty, and delicious meal.
All right. Moment of truth, Wes.
There we go. Uh-oh. Here we go.
That is so tender.
Perfect. Yeah. That's the way it's designed. So this pork chop, we butcher it here in house, and then it sits overnight in an apple cider brine. So has a little bit of a sweet finish on there, and really makes a delicious pork chop.
It really does. My mother always taught me not to talk with my mouth full, so I'm trying not to do that, but it's really hard. This is amazing. And again, I love the potatoes and the pork chop with just its richness and flavor. All right, moving over to the chicken chimichurri salad.
A little bit of a lighter option for you there.
Right.
So you get both sides of it here with the tasting. But this chicken chimichurri salad is one of our more unique salads. It's got a lot of fresh ingredients in there. So the marinated tomatoes, manchego cheese, avocado, lettuce, the grilled chicken that's chopped up, and of course the fresh bread on the side there as well.
Two of the amazing dishes that you can find right here at the mailroom. Again, the bone-in pork chop as well as the chicken chimichurri salad. And then I also have the mocktail. What am I drinking on? Which mocktail is this?
This right here is the
Fresca?
strawberry basil agua fresca. So,
which is nice, light, and refreshing. And I did get a little tip from the bartender. She says if you would like to order it with club soda, it adds that little bubbliness to it that you might like as well.
you can spritz it up a little bit.
Yes,
That's
just
right.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, Wes, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for all of this, for letting me try this, letting me get into
Thank
your
you,
restaurant
Stephanie.
and take a look. Again, if you can make it out to the mailroom, put this on your list of restaurants to visit.
In the house, we have 5 children.
5.
We need a bigger house. That's all we need. We saw a need for kids to have a safe place, for kids that we fell in love with immediately to have parents that would love them, regardless of their past or their background or their history or their trauma or whatever. And we just wanted to be in their lives. Loving the boys is easy. Showing them love is easy. We're not in this alone. We have a community of support around us through our foster agency and through our adoptive agency, as well as through DCS. There are also other just families that pour into us and help us wherever they can. When we adopted all 3 of our children, there was no cost to us, no financial cost. everything was taken care of by the state. Maybe a church, maybe through some of the agencies like Tennessee Kids Belong. It's just incredible. There's so many people that are willing to help and able to help, and will be there when you need them, regardless of the time or anything like that. It's well worth it when you can see a child grow and flourish, even though they're not in a traditional home environment. They don't have to be statistics. They can now rise above things that would have held them down before. Their job is to reach back and pull somebody else along and help somebody else to be better.
I don't know what we would do now
Without
out the busy craziness.
Yeah, we joked about being empty nesters about 3 years ago. We thought, this is it, we're almost there. If we had more room, we for sure would take more. Yeah, we just keep taking them. We've told the agency that we foster through that we would.
Every time they ask us, can you take a placement? We're like, get us a bigger house.
Get us a bigger house. We'll sign a 20-year contract with you, whatever you want.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
We have had such a fun show, but you know, we've talked about greens and we've talked about a lot of other wonderful things here in our show. And a big thank you to our friends at Amber Falls Winery for giving us delicious wine to go with any meal and any dessert. But let's talk about salads. Nothing's complete without a little cheese on top. I can't have a salad without cheese.
Yes, and if you get a cheese that has a lot of flavor, you don't have to use a lot. It goes a long way. So one of my favorite things, blue cheese, of course, is great on a salad, and I love goat cheese.
Let's talk about goat cheese, because a lot of people go, I don't like goat cheese. It's a little too pungent. It's a little too this. Or the crumbles of goat cheese are amazing, but I actually bought some goat cheese, and it was so creamy that it didn't crumble. Why is that?
Well, goat cheese naturally has a lot of fat content in it. And when it sits at room temperature, just like any cheese, it becomes very soft. And it turns into a very creamy blob.
Not good for a salad.
Not good for a salad. But the way you can remedy that is before you take it out of the wrapper, leave it in the wrapper, pop it in the freezer, and this has been in the freezer, and just with me holding it in this minute or two, it's going to warm up to a nice texture, but still crumble or cut if I want to do medallions of goat cheese. And so goat cheese, also each goat will be eating different things in the pasture. What you eats matters. So some goat cheese is more pungent because they're out eating mustard greens and bitter greens. So what they eat matters. So find a brand of cheese that is not so pungent because those goats are out eating the sweet greens versus the more pungent.
Mine like bananas. So there you go.
Well, I think you're going to have smoothies on your salad.
I'm going to have a smoothie, a perfect goat cheese smoothie.
Oh, great. So that's the trick for the goat cheese.
Well, you can find delicious local goat cheeses here at Green Door Gourmet and all these wonderful greens and locally grown and locally sourced, because we always say buy local. And if you're looking for a great wine, Amber Falls Winery is in Hampshire, Tennessee. And of course, they have a tasting room at Opry Mills. Well, that's a wrap on this show of Greens. Thank you for joining us here at Green Door Gourmet. If you're looking for a blessing, don't forget, you gotta first be one.